Oh my god, man, has he not been through enough? Can't we just let Indy rest? Like, wasn't 2023 disastrous enough for the franchise that you would think better than to put him through the meat grinder one more time in the other medium that he has seen great success with? Well, at least back when LucasArts was a thing, there were some good Indiana Jones games, but Indiana Jones and the Great Circle being developed over there at Bethesda, oh, I don't know if it's going to be as offensive. I don't think that it could possibly rise to the levels of incompetence of the Dial of Destiny, but the Great Circle, like, what an inspired name. So much better than The Last Crusade, Temple of Doom, or Raiders of the Lost Ark. The Great Circle. I mean, that just immediately gives you images of, well, shut up, bigot, because you don't have to worry about any future Indiana Jones games, because we got a woman that's going to be in here, and she's going to be just as good as Indiana Jones. She's going to be able to do it in high heels. Where have we heard this before? Where was it successful before? All right, those are two things that end up setting up a false dichotomy, because we've seen it before. About this time last year to cataclysmic results. Where was it successful? Where has it ever been successful? With Indiana Jones, with James Bond, with Star Wars. Where has this ever worked before, trying to replace a beloved character with a snarky, fast-talking woman? When has it ever worked before? Oh, it's going to work this time around because Gina Lombardi, she serves as an intellectual equal to Indy. I'm just wondering if he's doing any of these globe-trotting adventures. Where's Marion? Or is this in that interim after they get married, but before they get divorced, or after in the setup to him being a total loser that he was in Dial of Destiny? But I guess I was just about to say, I guess we'll see, but oh god, yeah, this is definitely made by Bethesda in 2024. That completely threw me off my game. It's like, wow, she is just shockingly ugly. I'd imagine, the model that they're probably basing her off of, if current trends are anything to go by, she probably looks like a young Scarlett Johansson, but got that troglodyte that, Indy, in one of his previous excavations, pulled out of some Ark cave, and she learned English faster than any of his previous students. But, in a tease of the upcoming game that's sure to raise more than a few hackles, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle producer Craig Derrick, or trust a guy with two first names, has revealed that the game's narrative will present Indy's a new companion, Gina Lombardi, as the archaeologist's intellectual equal. How friggin' fantastic! Alessandra Mastrodoni. Now, she really just is that ugly in the game. Holy Christ, bro. Overall, Lucasfilm executive producer, whose credits, in addition to Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, also include The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Acolyte television series. Oh my god, no. We had hope for this game to begin with, but just to see that resume, and it's like, oh wow, this is gonna suck. Offered this insight into the soon-to-be-introduced Lombardi during a general production interview given to his employer's official website. Beginning with a reflection on the game's overall premise, Derrick asserted, for an Indiana Jones adventure to truly shine, it needs a globe-trotting journey with a strong historical element, something grounded in reality, yet wrapped in mystique or relevance. Exactly. Where does the broad come in? Okay, because that's where you're going. Just go ahead and, begin with the lead. Don't bury it. Come on now. It's Indy's job to go ahead and discover it, or I guess Gina's job, because she's going to get is she going to get the hat, or is she going to get the whip at the end of it? I don't know. The Great Circle, Todd Howard, and the team at Machine Games. God damn it, man. The once great Machine Games. Now, we've talked about Dragon Age, the Veilguard recently, and how much of a disaster that looks like, and how I used to have such reverence, like so many other gamers that were out there, for BioWare and their aptitude for quality, but in recent years, in a post-Anthem world, well, they're probably outside of potentially Naughty Dog. Well, at least Naughty Dog makes games that somewhat sell, I guess, kind of, but BioWare is just, they've just completely and totally died. Machine Games, like, they made one of my favorite FPSs, okay? And if you haven't gone back and played the original Wolfenstein New Order, god damn, man, that game is fantastic. The second one, well, that was one of those games that I originally had just a really bad feeling about when I seen the promotional material, knowing that, oh yeah, gaming it's really starting to change and it's not for me. We had BJ Blazkowicz's pregnant wife being actively engaged in combat, and he also needed to get saved by strong empowered black female protagonist, and it's like, oh, I know what's happening here. And lo and behold, that's what ended up happening. And then the follow-up, what was that, the Youngblood DLC? Yeah, exactly. But anyways, yeah, that's Machine Games' track record. God damn it, man. What we've lost because of ideologues ruining in the games industry. I'm sorry. Ideologues that look exactly like that with just a few more different hair colors and a couple more chins with a plate as strong as their jawline. There you go. Struck gold by, yes, centering the story on a real-world mystery, a number of ancient sites around the world line a perfect, unbroken circle. And the reason behind this alignment has eluded people for centuries. And of course, it eluded them for centuries because they didn't have somebody as brilliant as Gina on the case. Whatever. Noting the Great Circle's overall concept blew my mind. The producer then recalled, the more I learned, and she's ugly from every angle, bro. Like, what in the blue hell is going on here? Jesus. Like, I'm not one of these gooners who needs to have somebody, with their tits hanging out all the time, or you could just have your female protagonist out there with the skirt so short that you can actually smell it through the screen. I don't need that stuff. Just also don't want somebody who's out there hunting for additional chromosomes in regards to mythological treasure. Like, can we just have female characters developed out of the West that don't look like they have fetal alcohol syndrome? Like, is that too much of an ask? We delved into what kind of MacGuffin would be linked to all these sites. Oh my god, so you already started off with a really hack writing trope. Fantastic. And how each location could authentically represent within the context of Indy's life. This process of exploration and discovery fueled the world building of the game from the very beginning, ensuring that each aspect of the story was both true to the character and engaging for the player. And we're like, it wasn't really engaging for the player, but fuck you, we don't care. Turning to how this desire for character authenticity was ultimately translated into the Great Circle's actual gameplay, Derek then detailed from uncovering and investigating the central mystery of the story to tackling unique situations along the way and outsmarting traps designed to keep the world's secrets hidden, except for one trap that's going to be integral to the story. Picture somewhat relevant. We wanted the player's primary focus to be on using their brains before their brawn. Yeah, because something else that we've seen, how they want to go ahead and tone down gunplay in this game because Indiana Jones isn't known for using a firearm. That's an actual quote from some of the developers. You excited yet? A studio that is known for crafting FPSs wants to tone down their speciality in making games. Okay. Although punching bad guys is also a lot of fun. Oh my god. In many ways, we envision this game as a spiritual successor to Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. Hey guys, we got some keys to Django. You remember that game? People like that one. This is the spiritual successor to that one. And other classic adventure games. It's about thinking, discovering, tracking down clues, and sometimes just a bit of luck to get through the various traps, tombs, and threats encountered. Yeah, that all sounds great. We also heard all of these promises with the updated for a modern audience Tomb Raider games that only ended up delivering on said promise one time, but there were how many of those games? Exactly. As his brief interview drew to a close, Derek finally turned to the topic of the aforementioned Lombardi and her role in Jones's upcoming adventure. Gina is a perfect ally for Indy. She's endlessly curious. Oh, she's just gonna be a witty, insufferable girl boss, you can bet. Okay, incredibly sharp, yup, and has a personal stake in the journey. She not only challenges and assists the player, is laying it all out for everybody to see, but also serves as an intellectual equal to Indy, bringing depth to the adventure. Gina adds a personal dimension to the story, making the journey a lot more than just finding another artifact for a museum. Yeah, because we can't have that in modern day because, those savages that just left it out in the woods, they deserve those ancient artifacts that they didn't care enough about to go and retrieve, and that, they deserve to go sell it to highest bidder out there. Heaven forbid that, it actually gets preserved and taken care of in a museum. Can't have that. That's a cultural appropriation or something stupid. I believe players are really going to connect with her and root for her story. Yeah, because they want to have an Indiana Jones game, theoretically, if nobody's really paying attention to the trappings of modern game development, where they would just go out and go, oh, Indiana Jones. Ooh, that's I like those. I like those movies. The first, the only three were great. A weird fan film that they put out in the theaters looked atrocious. I didn't go and see it, but the first three, yeah, they were great. They were fantastic. Now there's a video game. Oh, that looks great. I'm really enjoying this Indiana Jones game. But why are we focusing on this Gina chick? This isn't Indiana Jones. She's not even named after a state at all. What's going on here? Ultimately, whether or not Lombardi turns out to be a generic Lucasfilm standard girl boss, well, I mean, once again, man, like, we got a bland, generic brunette. It's kind of the hallmarks of Lucasfilm. Like, I mean, take a look at Star Wars Outlaws, man. Bland, generic brunette who is supposed to be a replacement for Han Solo. Holy shit. So what do we have right here? A bland, generic replacement for another Harrison Ford character. Jesus Christ, and they're both going to end up facing a similar fate. God bless and Godspeed, because this game, boy, it's going to suck a dick. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.